Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
It's Friday and it's finally sunny and it's kind of nice outside, I think. Did you get outside?
I did. As you know, I have a dog, and so I did have to take him out.
Yeah. Well, Poe, he has his cone off today. So excited. He celebrated by having a big nap. Because he could finally like lie down without, with the cone sticking in his head.
Yes.
And but he's been on exercise restriction, as you know, right? Like it was like just little walks. But he's been enjoying the front porch, so that's been good. That's been exciting. So I'm excited. Have you tried any of the ones that we're gonna taste today?
I've only tried one of the three that I have to drink.
Okay. Which one? Which one have you tried before?
Okay, so the three I have today, one is the Brickworks Purple Road. The Toronto Cider Girls have reviewed this. I personally have not drank it. It was Ainsley, so I'm excited to find out if like what she has said is the same thing that I experienced.
Hmm.
Then for Chill Street, it's got the Afternoon Delight, and they sent me a number of ciders to sample, and I've yet to try this one. But I'm really interested because it's one of those cider wine blends, so
Hmm.
I think that would be pretty good. And then KW Craft, the cherry cider. I was lucky enough that they sent me a couple to sample. This is my last one of the ones they've sent me, and I absolutely adore this, which for a cherry cider is high praise because
Yeah.
I know a lot of the time we find that they tend to be very medicinal, and this one is not.
I haven't tried that one. Is it a drier cherry? Is it kind of like a Brickworks or like a Sonata, like a Revel?
Ooh, tricky. I haven't had a Brickworks cherry in a while.
Okay.
I'm
Like
trying to think
cutting.
what it's similar to. It's very light in cherry flavor. It's like
Okay.
subtle, and I would definitely say it's on the dry side. It's like most KW ciders are. They're more sparkling,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say it's sweet.
Okay. Then that's intriguing to me. I can't wait to try that. Okay, so I'll tell you what I for Brickworks now. I'm pretty sure I chose the Queen Street, the 501. I'm pretty sure like sometime I've had it, but I don't remember anything about it. Like
It's a very sweet cider.
I know I saw I'm like semi-sweet. I was like, okay, you know how I feel about sweet ciders, but I have tried the purple one. So I'm gonna try this one. And then Chill Street's Afternoon Delight, I really like this one. And I know some people actually find it sweet, but I really like it. Hopefully I still do. But like, cause for Chill Street, some of those were sort of hit and miss, but this one was one that I liked. And then I'm gonna go way out of my comfort zone, as if like the sweet one wasn't enough out of my comfort zone. And my KW pick, I'm doing the green one, the Thai ginger.
Ooh.
Now, now it's funny because when I chose this one, my daughter goes, "You mean the one you're gonna make pad thai with?" Because when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't know if I can drink that, but I'm gonna. This is a big like out of the comfort zone for me. So I've got like one safety and a sweet one that pays homage to the streetcar that I've been on numerous times. So that's nice.
I will say that the Queen Street is like my go-to cider. Like if
Okay,
I'm just having a regular day, don't feel like reviewing anything new. If I'm heading to the cottage for the weekend, I generally grab Queen Street.
really?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I have a sweet tooth with my ciders.
But it says semi-sweet, don't you? Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I would say it's sweeter than semi-sweet.
Okay. And how does that compare to like their batch one? The
I would say their batch is more of a semi-sweet than a dry.
okay, okay, that should be interesting. That should be yeah. Oh, Heather's on here. Yeah, Heather, I know she loves the this one. She brought that to like our first cider chat. So I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. What do you want to start with?
Um,
I feel like
I'm good either way. Did you want to start with the Afternoon Delight since we both have the same one?
yes. Let's do that. And you've never tried this one, right?
Never tried it. Nice sound.
I love that sound.
So it says it goes great with croissants, Greek salad, vanilla ice cream, poultry, Indian food, coconut, and shrimp.
Yeah, all of their cans say that. I actually think it's kind of fun because then I'm like, am I supposed to eat this with that? But I really like. I
Oh, it
love
smells peachy.
and I love peach. Like I love peach ciders. So, okay, you go
I will
ahead.
say it's generally not me who drinks the peach ciders for the cider girls. It's a different girl, but I'll
Okay.
give it a shot.
Let's see.
It's like a fuzzy peach candy,
Do you find it sweet?
the drier side.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't find it sweet. I find it like but it does have that like to me it tastes like a fuzzy peach candy smells like.
Yes.
But is it too dry for you?
No, I don't even think I would consider this a dry cider. I would consider this more of a semi-sweet
No, I find it
or semi-dry.
a semi dry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it easy to drink, which is scary because it's 7.2.
Whew.
Yeah, do you see what it
Three ciders and one's a 7.2. I'm gonna be on the floor later. KW is 6.4, and then the
Okay.
Brickworks, 5.5.
Okay. Mine, as you probably know from the Queen Street, because you like it so much, is the 5.0, and my KW is 6.7. Yeah. Which other chill streets have you had that you've tried before?
Oh, I've tried a couple. I did the guava sour as you did. For me, it smelled fruity. It wasn't really my cup of tea, but I can see how other people might like it,
Yeah.
mixed with something. I had their berry one on Valentine's Day. That was pretty good. It was pretty sweet.
Hmm.
Trying to think. The nuts for you was very strong in amaretto flavor. So if you like that dark cherry kind of flavor, then it's good.
Okay.
For me, it's not my cup of tea again, but like it was an interesting flavor. And I always like trying new things. I really applaud cideries when they try really interesting flavors that you would never think to associate with a cider.
Yeah. I liked their pineapple one.
I
Did you
don't
ever
think if I
try?
had that one yet. I don't
Yeah,
think I have.
haven't. Now I was scared of it, but everyone was like, um, um, saying that they thought they liked it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. And I actually found it surprisingly good. It's another blend. Oh, Emma's just asking which one that I said smelled like candy. Oh, yeah, I tried there. I think it was the blueberries. Yeah, this one smelled like candy too. I know.
Like
But
peaches.
did you try the blueberry sangria? And
Yes, that one was good.
you like that one?
Well, I'm half Spanish. I love anything to do with sangria, but
You're half Spanish?
I am.
What?
My mom's from Spain,
Oh, my husband's Spanish from Spain. What part? From Spain?
Madrid.
Oh, okay. I think his dad's from Madrid and his mom's from Jaén. Did I get it right? Andalusia. Andalusia.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my
Yeah.
aunts lived in Andalusia, so I know the area well. I lived there
Nice.
after university for a number of years
Oh,
in
really?
Madrid.
Oh, nice. That's nice to know.
Glad
That's
to report, last time I was in Spain about 2 years ago, I was like, what's the cider scene like? Because traditional sidra from Asturias up north is very, very dry and very carbonated and very champagne-like.
okay.
But they've now expanded and have lots of different types of cider. So I was able to find some sweeter ones that I enjoyed.
Have you heard of the company? I think it's Costa Verde from. He's a winemaker from California that has his cider now in that region in Spain.
Oh,
And
interesting.
they make it in Spain and he sells it in California. He was trying to get it into Ontario, and I thought that was kind of interesting too. Um, but yeah, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
well, there's a Basque cider from Spain that's now available in Toronto and Ontario. It's the Cupella brand. It's like the large green bottle with the blue and white kind of wavy pattern on it.
oh, how do you spell it?
It's like Kupela, I think.
Okay, where did you find it?
Just at the LCBO.
Really? Like
Yeah.
in like the cider section or in like
Initially, I found it in the Muskoka one, but I've also seen it in Toronto as well.
oh
And
really?
it's just in the regular cider section.
Oh wow. Okay, so we wrote that down. That's great. That's okay. I'd like to try that. That sounds good. Yeah. So would you have this one again? The peach one?
You know, As I said, I'm not the peach lover of the cider girls. There's like 10 of us, and we all have our little quirks on the ciders we like. Um, it's palatable and it's an easy drink. I'm not sure if I would gravitate to it again just because I'm not a huge peach fan,
Yeah.
but it's pretty tasty for what it is. I don't find it too overpowering. I also don't find it too artificial flavored either, which is one of the issues I have with flavored ciders like cherry and peach. They tend to taste very much medicinal or like flavoring, but this one's actually pretty tasty. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I like peach, but I like peach like I like my the fruity wines like lighter, like more on like on the drier side because some of them I just find really like you were saying before, syrupy, right? And
Yes.
yeah, I love peach. I know. And oh, I got a nectarine one. I got the Revel came today. I forget what it's called, Mithras. Somebody maybe can help me. And but I've never had a nectarine, but I like the stone fruit. But as long as it's subtle, I find this one subtle. I find to me this is like an easy drink. It wouldn't be like my go-to, like you were saying, like the Queen Street would be like your go-to. Yeah, Em thinks I'm addicted to peach. She's just jealous because she's got a feijoa and I can't get that, so I just rub in her nose that I have peach. Um, but I think I'm not sure what my go-tos are usually Duxbury. I think Duxbury Duntroon, but
Yeah,
okay.
whereas my go-tos are more like Brickworks and Thornbury because I like the sweeter ciders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I
Those are my
said, like
like
I
every.
stay away from Brickworks Peach again because I'm not a peach fan, but I love the Queen Street, so everyone has
I
different tastes.
yeah, I didn't mind the Stadium Peach actually. I didn't mind it. I didn't like it the first time, and then the second time I was like I liked it, but in smaller quantities for me. Like I couldn't drink a whole one, but that's cool.
Yeah, not
Okay.
bad. Do you want to move on to the next cider?
Yes. Okay. Um, do you want to go? Do you want to save your cherry for the end? Because I'm wondering if I do KW and I have Thai ginger and my mouth goes nuts, I might not appreciate Brickworks, I think. Would that be okay if we do?
Yeah, no, I would definitely suggest saving the Thai ginger to the end. It's a bit of it hits you hard in that first sip.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, I'm excited for that one though. Okay, let's do Brickworks.
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 So the Purple Road is crafted with wild blueberries and lavender and fresh Ontario apples.
Now that cider, like I wasn't, it was too sweet for me, but the color of that was probably one of the most beautiful pours like I've ever seen. The color is just like exactly like look, isn't that beautiful?
It is a really pretty color.
Yeah,
I will say it doesn't have much of a smell. Like the peach one, you cracked it open and I could smell peach, and this one, not really.
yeah, yeah. This
However,
one
it is a very pretty color.
isn't that beautiful? I that to me that's one of the like the best looking ciders. I love that color. Okay, this doesn't smell too sweet.
Okay, I hope you don't
Yeah,
find it too sweet. It's one of my favorites.
let's see. Yeah, it's definitely sweet for me, but I actually don't mind it. Like it's not like coingly, like I'm not going like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say it's sweet without being syrupy.
definitely. And there's no like my mouth doesn't feel like a sugar bomb inside, but my palate, the first sip, it definitely goes in with like a sweeter coating than what I'm used to. But this to me is like a like really good summertime, like a hot day when see, like I can see why you would probably like grab this and sit on like on the dock, like sit outside of
Yeah.
the cottage or something. To me, that has
And
that
I
kind of.
think it's like a classic apple cider. Like it doesn't have any frills to it. It's on the sweeter side, which I like, but it's just a very classic, clean flavor.
Mhm. No, I think I like him. I'm
That's
surprised.
good.
I know. I think I like him. I think because it doesn't leave that taste at all. Like it doesn't leave that sweet taste. But yeah, yeah. Okay, this surprises me because I usually look at this and in LCBO and I'm like, I don't think I liked that. But yeah, I do actually. Wow. How about you?
Still wrapping my mind around this. It says that it's lavender and blueberries. And it's quite tasty, but I'm not sure I taste either lavender or blueberries.
Okay. What do you taste?
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it tastes like, but it's pretty, like, it's good. It's kind of like, this sounds terrible, like a watered down grape juice or
Oh,
like a mangy grape juice.
yeah. I didn't like it. I know a lot of people thought it tasted like had a subtle blueberry taste. But for me, I don't like anything floral, which is interesting because I'm doing a florally one tomorrow. But for me, it tasted like I was drinking flowers. Like I could not. Yeah. The color's
See,
gorgeous.
it doesn't taste floral to me. I just don't really know what it tastes like. It's very unique in its own flavor.
Yeah.
See, one of the first times I had Revel, it was like potpourri. It was pure floral, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not for me." And I haven't had them in years because of that, but I'm sure they now have a lot of very different ciders to try from.
Which do you remember which one it was? Because for Rebel I've had the Time and Place and the Sonata. I bought some other ones and then a bunch came today. But I haven't tried like the Sonata is the cherry and it's like I like it because it's really dry and like tangy and sour because they put like the pits and everything in it. But which do you remember which one you had? No,
I had
you
it
were
in
just
a
like
bar
nah.
like 5 years ago. I sort of feel like, no, this is not for me, which I should really give it another try. I'm sure Rebel has lots of new flavors. This is when they first hit the market, so it was like their first cider.
Sure.
And it could very well have been like a keg issue on top of that. So
Yeah.
I will have to give it another fair shot. Yeah, I don't really know what I think this Purple Rose tastes like. It's kind of unique on its own. It's not terrible by any means. I just don't know if it's blueberry or lavender.
I think there's a people that like it a lot, and then some people that just kind of like it. And I think I'm one of the only ones that I was just like, yeah, no, I had to pass on that one. I just couldn't. I think the first time I saw it, someone having it, they had like two or three that evening. They liked it so much. So I'm not. I don't. Maybe my palate just doesn't have it. But yeah, for me, it was like floral because I just like. Well, I really don't like anything floral, but interesting you said like a watered down grape juice because I love grape juice.
Oh no, yeah, I don't know. It's that kind of that. It's hard to describe. I'm not finding the words to describe this cider, but yeah, it's not like purple tang, but it's like a purple tang, watered down grape juice, kind of like maybe a splash of blueberry. Like it's just a very interesting flavor.
Hmm. But it's beautiful though. I mean, I
Yeah, no, I
like
really like the color.
it's so yeah, it's so beautiful. Like it looked exactly the way I wanted it to look um, from from the can. Oh, nice.
Happy
Okay.
Friday, everyone.
Yeah. Happy Friday. We've done two already.
We've done too.
And I like the two so far. So that's as Em will know, that's not like me. And same thing with Michelle when we did tasting. It's like it's not much for me. I don't usually like the ones that I'm trying, but so far I do.
Well, I like our theme. Basically, we just chose three cideries and then a can from each. So it's I don't know, it's a great way. It's watered down, subtle. I have no idea how you to describe this. It's a
Mhm.
unique blend.
Unique blend.
Unique.
We should have got the cider maker on with us to let us know because I didn't taste blueberry. I tasted it floral and I couldn't finish it and I tasted sweet. Do you find that one sweet?
I would definitely say at minimum it's a semi-sweet. Semi-sweet to sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more I drink it, the more it grows on me. But again, we just discussed that these are all very high alcohol percentage. So it just could be that I'm enjoying that it's a Friday afternoon.
Well, we did start with the 7.2%. Let's just everything after that, it's got to taste pretty good, right? Oh, nice. Okay.
So a question I have for
Yeah.
you is how often do you get orders from cideries delivered to you?
Well, I guess that's funny because this week there's like three of them coming, but not as often as it looks like if you see my seller. Um, and I think now, and especially after like hearing more from Mike and Jenna and Sarah, and talking and hearing more about local cideries and what they're going through, then I've been reaching out or connecting with them more often. But before that, like I've said before, like before pandemic, like I didn't contact a cidery and say, hey, do you order online, right? It was just like, okay, what does this LCBO have? And the one that's closest to me that you would think, like, near Scroll One would be a good one. It's like, it's horrible. And it's like, if I don't want a Summersby and I don't want a Strongbow, well, then I have to kind of hope they have something in the back. And so when the pandemic hit, I just started looking. Actually, I was contacted by a couple of cideries saying, "Hey, can we send you something?" And I thought, "Well, sure, of course you can." And then, yeah, I'm not going to say no, sure. And then I ordered the craft box, and because I ordered that craft box, like the Ontario Craft Association, I was able to be exposed to a whole bunch of different ciders that were not local at all. So having said that, then that's what sort of made me reach out, and I don't know order that many. I just you know some are gifted and some are purchased, and yeah. So but this particular week has been like a stock up week, so that's why I'm like, delivery number one arrived, delivery number two arrived, and my rebel one came because last night I had a Zoom chat with Matt from Hounds of Erie Winery, which we're putting together to release the video, but that came like just before that. um, so I didn't put that post out until today. And then there's my hardware order, I'm still waiting. It says it's on its way, and so of course I'm jealous if Heather got hers ahead of me. And then like Duxbury, but so many of the cideries now are reaching out and saying, like, because you know they're in a predicament as well, right? So we want to support each other, and a lot of them are doing these like the free deliveries, or these, like, because I saw Ernst is doing the spring package and all these other little things that we can do to support them. How about you? How often?
County, you get the 25 bottles, they'll do flat shipping to all of Ontario.
That's right. That's right.
But
That's
I
another
agree.
one.
It's important to support local, to support the industries that you have passions for. Not that,
Mm.
it's difficult when you enjoy cider because it, in a way, sounds like you're an alcoholic for like supporting ciders. But really, if you think back, even like 6, 7 years ago, when you went to the bar, your options were basically beer, hard spirits, and maybe a strongbow. Maybe.
Maybe.
And so, Brickworks hit the scene initially coming out with the 1804, followed by the Queen Street, and then, Pommies, and all these guys started joining. It gave so many more options to those of us who don't enjoy beer
Yeah.
and got stuck drinking it because, it was the cheap drink in university or whatnot. And so I think it's very important to, if we want to keep having this diversity in our bars or in our LCBOs, make it viable for them to exist. So my heart goes out to every cider that's such a close that we can't go, to PEC or to Niagara or wherever to these cideries because, we need to stay home. But I'm all about supporting their shipping and having them deliver. And I'm really looking forward to being able to do these road trips to cideries once the lockdown hopefully ends. I don't know. In Toronto, it's like 50 shades of gray lockdown. I've been in
Yep.
lockdown since November. Haven't been able to go anywhere.
I know. And,
The
it, and
kids
it's I mean it's so eerie, Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm all with you on that. The more we can do to support them, because it's yeah, I mean, of course, yes. I mean, like, we like cider, so of course, we want them to stay in business because it's delicious. But for me too, it's like, with celiac, it's, and plus, I mean, I think like or I shouldn't say every, like a lot of people when we turned 19, it was like, hey, I'm gonna have Labatt's Blue, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna have something like that.
Board light.
Not. It's like, I'm gonna try a rum and coke, and then it was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. And then that was before like celiac disease. But for me, it's like, ciders are gluten free, and it's just about navigating the sugar platform and what I can and cannot tolerate. I think my face is going red because of the sugar in that other one, but um, and like it just supporting them. The community is so great, like I mean, and I just find like cider makers and cideries are just so, it sounds corny, but like down to earth, it's not pretentious, they're
Yep.
just, yeah, yeah. It's just nice to
100%.
support.
When Brickworks hit this, I keep talking about Brickworks, but
Yeah,
when it hit the scene, I guess,
yeah.
and I remember going to a bar and they're like, "We have a new cider," and I was like, "I'll have it." And I went bar crawling, and every cidery on King Street, or sorry, every bar on King Street was like, "We have a new cider," and I'm like, "I've already had this can 4 times, but lay it on me a fifth. Like I'll keep trying this." And I was tweeting it all up. And so they ended up calling me and my friends the Toronto Cider Girls because we were just constantly tweeting because back then Twitter was more popular than Instagram about cider.
Yeah.
And then they would send us like a Jays game and like we had a great time with Brickworks. So it has a place in my heart because that's kind of how my platform started. But yeah, I'm losing my train of thought now, but I
No,
love
that's
that
so cool.
there's diversity and there are great people that's behind it all. And like you said, they're all down to earth. They're really nice people. And if you get the chance to talk to them, you learn so many really interesting facts about how cider is made, how it's developed, how it's taxed, all those crazy things that go along with a beverage.
Nice. I was gonna ask you how you guys came about, and so Brickworks
Yeah,
actually coined you.
that's
Wow, that's so cool. Wow.
So for my day job, I work in communications. So I'm always on social media. And because of that, I was like, at this bar having a drink. And that's how I met like the owner of Hemingway's. He was like, "Hey, I saw this tweet. Is that you?" And I was like, "Yep, that's me." We started talking to Brickworks and getting it all started. And then our passion grew. Back in the day, cider didn't exist. When the first Toronto Cider Festival started, my friends and I, we were first ones in line. We're like, yes, let's support this. Let's be there. Let's talk to all the cideries, take those photos, try and showcase the amazing flavors they have. And we had a lot of fun in the process, and we're still having fun with it. So now we can't really get together because of lockdown, but
Yeah.
we all drink virtually on Saturdays and show each other our drinks, and we take photos of them and still post as regularly as we can on the Toronto Cider Girls just to get those profiles out there.
Nice. So there's how many of you are there?
There's about 10.
10. Nice.
10
Okay.
plus houses. But yeah, it's great. I would say I run the account and then I get photos sent to me by my friends, or they'll be like, "I'm at this, winery, cidery at the LCBO," and I'll get these photos like, "Have you tried this one or should we pick this up?" And we all just have a great time with it. So like right now, one of my Toronto Cider Girls just let me know that Thornbury is doing a collaboration with the Hip and releasing like a brand new cider that's, limited time. And so we were like, "Oh, that's really cool." And we were discussing like how that came about and the dynamics and whatnot. But there's about 10 of us. We've known each other 10 to 20 years. Yeah, and we're friends first and Toronto Cider Girls second. But we have a lot of fun with it all.
Oh, that's so nice though. Yeah, that's sweet. I think the two cider companies that I have a soft spot for, because you were mentioning that Brickworks was like the first one, like that you sort of were introduced to, right? For
Yes.
me, it was Shiny was the first one, because I remember when like walking into the LCBO, and this is like shortly after like celiac diagnosis, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna have? And there were two cans of cider, and it was the apple and the purple can, the Pinot Noir, and it's like gluten-free vegan, and I'm like, okay, you're coming with me, and I'm gonna see what this is like. And that was actually my first um I guess integration into cider, and it was just so good. And yeah, and I mean, I still love Shiny. Regular peach, the only thing I didn't like, I told them, was their Hank's bootleg. Couldn't stand that. but love the apple and their now rosé. Even though I still have a growler of the Pinot, which I guess I should open at some point, and the
I've still
peach,
yet
and
to
then
try the peach, but I love the rosé, which is the new version of Pinot, right? Where they've just watered, well, not watered it, but they've reduced the amount of wine they're putting in it. But
yeah,
it's so delicious.
it's my favorite rosé. I love it so much. It's not too dry, and they have such good customer service. I find too. If ever I've had an issue, it's just been like taken care of immediately. And then the second company is actually Palmies. And that's Palmies. I loved their cranberry, which is not available anymore. And then when they came out with a sangria, they put on social media that they're going to have this a sangria, and it was right before like my birthday. So my husband calls them up and says, "Hey, I can't find your sangria in the LCBO." And they're like, "Oh, that's because it's not released yet because you know your wife's too, I guess, social media happy." And they said, "Hey, but if you want, come have a tour and we'll show you around." So I didn't get to go because it was a birthday surprise for me. So I have a birthday video of my husband touring the Palmies facility in person, and then they just sent like a little gift for me as well, like you know the glasses, and I did get their sangria. But when I did the review, because you and I have spoken about the mimosas, when I did my review yesterday, I put the tip in to put the can upside down, so that because of the sediment with the
Yeah, it needs to be shaken before you pour.
exactly, just gently, not like you know, because my husband likes Caesar, so sometimes if we go like this, it's a little different when it's a cider. But I think those two companies, and then I have a soft spot, and then like the most recent ones, I think I have way too many soft spots, would be Duxbury for sure, like huge spot in my heart for them, and Rice Lake. I think those are you know I think I'm just too emotionally attached to
You've got me convinced that the second lockdown ends, I am driving to Rice Lake and I am getting that hoodie. So I've shown
I
everyone, I'm like, it's a cozy that keeps your cider cold. It's got a beer like opener or a can opener. I'm like determined that is going to be the first road trip I can do once lockdown ends.
It is, and it's so cozy too. I'm telling you, like, and you know what? I don't even like a pullover. Like, I usually like zip ups or zippies, but I'm like, what is that? When she was showing me around on the tour, and I'm like, I need one. And then they were great because my daughter wanted one too. Like, she's old enough, don't worry. I should say that it's not like an 8-year old. And but they didn't have the size that she thought she wanted. So you know, I saw mine and I'm like, okay, it's a little bit, you know, roomy. And so she tried on, it was great. And then Jenna was like, oh, well, I got an accidental shipment of another size if you'd like it. I'm like, yes, it's great, but it's so cozy. It's just like perfect. And I think Chick Cider Geek, Natalie did you see the reel she did about the hoodie?
No, not yet.
Okay, if anyone has not watched this girl's reel, my gosh, she does reels like nobody else. Like, I'm just gonna say this. I hope I have your name right, Natalie. I believe it's Natalie. But Chick Cider Geek, she does reels, and she did a reel of her hoodie that it came when it came, and it was just, it is fabulous. But yeah, I got the aqua, and they have orange and black, and they have camo as well,
So
depending on.
I was debating ordering online just because I don't know when I'm going to be able to drive out. And then I was like, no, they're out of the aqua in my size. So maybe I'll go camo. I don't know. I want to go see in person, but honestly, I just want to do a road trip. So it's giving me something to look forward to.
Yeah, and Jenna's great too. She's really, really sweet. Oh, don't say thank you, Chick Cider Geek. Thank you for making that real. It's you have to go watch it. Everybody like don't leave like Abby and I right now to go watch it. You know, but when we're done, then the first thing you need to go do is go watch it and follow her. If you're not already following her, it was so well done, so well done. Every time she does opens a box, she has it with music, and I'm just like, you're too cool. And I just take a picture of mine, and here we go. But yeah, I
It
know you've
depends
got one
on
too.
the creative process. It's not like, you can't be burnt out at the moment. Can't be like Friday evening. It's got to be, you got to be fresh to make those reels or those videos in order to really capture it.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't. I think the only reel that we've done, well, actually, my husband did a reel for my puppy, but I haven't done a reel for the account yet. Just for the puppy. That's for Poe the mini golden doodle. We did that.
That's one up on me because, as you know, my dog also has an Instagram account, and
Yeah.
I've not done any reels for him. It's just photos.
Are you going, did you book for the Dog Days of Summer event from the Hounds of Erie? Did you look at that?
No,
No.
my dog, love him to pieces. He may need a second knee surgery. He had one 2.5 years ago, and so we're seeing about the other leg. So until I get a definitive diagnosis and whether or not it's going to require 3 months recovery, I am not making any plans with him.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
Oh,
big dude. He wants to run and play.
yeah. How big is he?
So he's about waist height. He's 110 pounds. He's really, really sucky. He's a lap dog.
Yeah.
It's the heavy one. And he's 5.5. So he's like middle age.
Nice.
But he
Nice.
loves
Yeah.
dogs, loves people even more. Like all he wants to do is sit on people's feet and get pet. He's a real big suck.
Well, Matt from Hounds, yesterday we were talking about our dogs, and he has a Great Dane, but the Great Dane is 8 months old. Now my puppy is also 8 months old. So the Great Dane, Theoden, is just over 100 pounds, and a lap dog as well. And I was saying, yeah, my dog he's just hit 20 pounds. He's also a lap dog, and here I am thinking, okay, maybe it's okay that he's on my lap because he's not 100 pounds. It's
In
cute.
fairness, my dog was 70 pounds when I adopted him. He was crazy malnourished. You could see all his ribs and whatnot. Like it was a terrible situation. And he was about a year and a half. So he's now a healthy, happy weight. But when I first started letting him be on my lap, he was 30 pounds lighter.
But he's so cute. I love that today. He's like, stop looking at your computer. It's on
Well,
my
he comes
Instagram.
into this
When he
room,
was saying that,
and
he
I'm in a roll computer chair, and he like backs me into a wall until I can't move. And then he lays there and he's like, try working now.
oh,
He's very cute.
oh, nice. Okay, are you
Did you want
ready?
cider?
Yeah, this is the one that I was kind of delaying it a little bit because I'm scared. But I'm gonna Heather, if you're still watching, I'm doing this for you because I know how much you love this one, and I'm gonna give it a fair shot. But I'm gonna have some water first, just so that I don't have sweet in my mouth, so I can because it's supposed to have a kick to it, right?
Yeah, so it's quite alcoholic. Upon first sip, it's very strong. For me, it was very strong in alcohol flavor, and then it dissipates as you keep drinking. But then the spice starts to build, so it's kind
Okay.
of two ways. It's like a seesaw going back and forth. The flavor's not bad. It's pretty good. I would say in terms of all the KWs, like the cherry is my favorite.
Hmm.
Well, it's tied with maybe the chai, and then the chili ginger is a little bit further down the list. But it's not a bad cider whatsoever.
Okay. How many flavors do they have?
Oh, they have a couple, but some of them are only seasonal, then they don't come back because they had a rose, the Shield Rose, that was part of the holiday pack that they were selling in the store, the four, and they don't plan on redoing that one. And then they've got their flagship, the black and white can, which is just a sparkling cider.
Hmm.
So I think it's just 4 or 5 different variations.
Okay, I've had that one. I've had the black one, the black and white one. Do I have to
Yes,
shake this or anything, or it's okay?
you're
No,
okay. Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
So the cherries also a nice light pink.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, and this one is okay. It looks really pretty. It's not too carbonated. Okay. It smells like food, but I mean it's Thai ginger, right? So it smells like takeout. But I don't mean that in a bad way, right? Like if you like takeout. Huh, I'm just nervous. Okay.
Just take a big old swig.
All right. I'm gonna take another
Uh,
one. I don't know. Mm. Okay, I don't dislike it because I don't find it sweet, but I think maybe it's just because maybe just because of like um, dietary needs I have that I'm not used to that flavor anymore. Like, um,
okay.
so I don't think it has anything to do with the cider itself. Like, I think it tastes fine. Like, it tastes exactly like it smells. So it does taste like um, it tastes like what I remember pad thai tasting like. So because I can't ingest it, I go by smells, right? So this tastes like what I'm used to smelling. So I think it's okay. I just I don't think I could fit a can. I don't get any heat though. Do I
No,
enjoy?
so upon first sip, at first I was like, is there tequila in this? Like I thought it was very alcoholic. And then as I kept drinking it, I thought my tongue is tingling, which is when I realized that there were Thai chilies in it, not just Thai flavor. So the
Right.
heat builds over time. It's not an immediate spice. It's more like pow, alcohol, and then the spice building.
Okay. So like I should take another sip to get this because I'd like to have the spice, I think. Yeah, I think I would like it. Let's see. The heat builds over time, Heather says. Okay. How much, Heather? Like, do I have to drink the whole can? I can't drink a
I
lot
don't
of
think
it.
you need to drink the entire can to feel the heat, but it definitely takes a little bit of drinking before you get it.
But do you remember? I'm not sure if it. I hope the restaurant didn't close down everywhere. But did you ever go to Spring Rolls?
Yes. It's a
Okay.
chain, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But they closed. A few of them closed down before COVID as well too, I think. But maybe that was more like uptown. But my husband always loved the pad thai from there, and so this tastes exactly like pad thai to me smells. So I
Okay.
think I think that this is like a really good one to have like with dinner, with food, but
Hmm.
but it's not like a crack it open and sit outside by the fire and just have it. I think it's just like with something else because my mouth is going, did I eat seafood? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like was it a chicken pad thai or was it a shrimp pad thai? But I don't think it's like it's not as it's not what I expected. It's in a good way. Like it's a lot, I think, better than what I expected. I think a third of the way into the can, Heather, then I'll get heat. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that, but it's not bad. But it's not bad. Like
No, none of the KW ciders are bad. They're all subtle in different ways. Um, but I don't know. Like, so I'm trying the cherry, which is very subtle. Um, I would say it's a semi-dry, semi-sweet at most.
okay,
It's very easy to drink. Like it's got that cherry flavor, but it's so subtle that it doesn't taste medicinal. It doesn't taste like candy. It's just kind of that, I guess, background flavor profile to the cider. So it's more of their sparkling cider coming forward. But yeah, I could drink this all summer long at a campfire, no problem.
oh
It's not
yeah,
even like one and then I'd have to move on. I could just drink a case of this.
a case.
I could
Okay.
drink a case.
You're totally selling me on trying that. I'm well because I love peach. That's my favorite. But cherry is my and cranberry. Okay, I like a lot of things. But like the tart and the sour, does it have like a bit of a sour? Like, is there any funk or anything to it?
There's no funk.
Okay,
Um, there is slight amounts of, it's a really good balance of tart and sour,
okay,
but there's no funk. I would say of the three I've sampled today, the KW cherry is my favorite.
really? Okay.
Well, because the peach is good. I'm just not really a peachy gal.
Hmm.
And the Purple Road is fully drinkable. I just can't put my finger on what the flavor is. So for that, like I would say the KW Craft Cherry is my favorite for today.
Okay, I don't know that I can say I'm actually shocked here. I'm not thinking I can have a favorite. like because I know I think that the Brickworks, the 501, the Queen Street, and the Thai Ginger kind of surprised me. I was not expecting to be able to drink more than a sip of either one of them. Like I really wasn't. Like the Afternoon Delight, the Chill Street, I already knew I liked that one. So I kind of have to like, you know, I expected I was gonna still like it unless I got like a can or something, right? But I don't think I would give any of them a really bad review. Like Queen Street, um, yeah, I couldn't drink a lot of it. I probably couldn't drink a whole can, but that's just because of my palate with this with the level of sweetness. And the same thing with a craft cider, just really because I can't ingest savory. So for me, it feels like I'm eating something that I'm not, but I think it would pair really, really well with any kind of, I mean, you could do that even with just like, you know, like a Greek salad. It doesn't even have to have the same flavors inspired, right? I think it's a really good.
Board. Crackers, cheese, smoked meat, and the ginger Thai cider. Perfect pair.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you that it's a total pairing with anything, with any kind of food. Um, so yeah, I'm quite surprised because now I would look at that one again a little differently, the Thai ginger, you know, where it was almost like a little, you know, aperitif almost. You could even do it, and the same with Brickworks. Wow, that's good because I don't think I've been very well, I didn't like the Purple Road, so I think I my review last time wasn't so flattering. But I maybe it's because I've been on the 501 so much. I don't know. Maybe, but I actually I quite liked it. This is unusual for me.
The streetcar.
Well, yeah, I know I know it's been years, but I remember being on there so long, like so many times. But yeah, this is unusual. I don't usually go feel like three for three, but I would recommend any of those. Yeah, I didn't get one sour face.
Well, I always like to think different strokes for different folks, right? Just because it might not be something I love, it doesn't mean it's a bad, cider flavor. It just means for my particular palate, it's not something I enjoy. All the ones I had today are perfectly drinkable ciders. Like there's not a single one that makes me want to like dump the can. It's just a matter of like, do you like peach? Do you like cherry? Do you like blueberry lavender-ish cider? Then give it a try. Um, and in worst case, you don't like it, but you've supported something local and you've tried something new.
Yeah, and like
Well,
you
maybe
said, just
not local, it's Nova Scotia, but
well, it's Canadian though, right? So I mean, you
it,
know, we're supporting Canadian, yeah. But I mean, but like you said, it might not be something that you know, like I can't finish a Thai ginger KW, but not because it's bad, just because I personally can't. But that doesn't mean anybody else can't, or even the Brickworks for the sugar content. But hearing somebody else and what they think of it, that just, you know, the more that we can, I guess, showcase the Canadian ciders and two of them being Ontario and local, the more other people know. Because I went back to the KW Thai Ginger today. Actually, Heather is getting a huge props for me today, but because I know she raves about it and she puts she was putting pictures of the Thai one as well, and I knew you loved it as well, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try because I'm just going on my own pretensions of what I think it might taste like, right? And that's not fair to them or or to my palate, really. So
oh, I definitely have the account. Well, of the accounts the Toronto Cider Girls follow, half are cideries from across Canada. So if I ever travel somewhere, I'm like, what's your local cider? You gotta try it. And then the other half are other cider influencers because I want to know what they're trying. I would never have known of Rice Lake if it wasn't for you, let alone the hoodie that I now need to purchase. But same with Chill Street. Like this was Taz from Grow with the Cider Review. She started drinking it. And I was like, those flavors sound insane. I need to try it. Like so it's from each other that we can learn more about different cideries and what flavors are available.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know it's great. Yeah, same thing. Taz because of Chill Street, and I had messaged her. I'm like, which flavors do you like? Like which flavors are good? And then it was watching her and a few other people that just raved about the pineapple, and I'm like, it sounds weird, but I have to try it. And I love the Chill Street pineapple. You know, the ones from Chill Street that I love. I really like. You know, I'm really appreciative of their flavors. And like you had mentioned before, the variety of ciders that are out there now, it's crazy. Like I mean, it's great. You know, it's just this like the amaretto one that you mentioned, and I mean this Thai ginger, and even Queen Street coming out with
And
Purple
they go in
Road.
phases too. Initially, it was just like apple cider getting into the market. And then I think it was like it's probably 5 years ago now, rosé hit the market and every cider had a rosé. And then, a year later, everyone had a peach. And like, so it's always interesting to find what's coming new. I think this fall, a lot of cideries experimented with pumpkin flavor for the first time. Some were more successful than others. I actually really like the Spirit Tree pumpkin cider, but I was like, you know what? Bring it on. Let's try these new flavors. Let's see, what it adds to the community, what it adds to the different ciders you can drink, whether it's seasonal or not. Yeah, I'm all about experimenting with new things.
Yeah, I know there are so many varieties. I didn't try any of the pumpkin ones. Maybe this KW will make me braver now to go try the pumpkin, or maybe like a little bit more savory. Yeah, and Liberty Village is coming out with their peach one too, which of course I'm like so intrigued by, right? Of course, obviously. And then I got the ones like I said, the nectarine from Revel today, and a couple of Perry's, which I'm gonna try tomorrow, and I'm gonna have one with M from New Zealand. So see how those go. But yeah, the scene is just it's just evolving all the time, and it's so great to just be a part of it and see what's coming out, and like you said, to just support local cideries as much as we can. So
100%. Well, I have the other new Brickworks in my fridge, the pineapple and the margarita, which I'm hoping to crack open this weekend and try. But I get really intrigued whenever I see new flavors. I'm like, okay, going to the store, or if I can go to the cidery, I'll go to the cidery. But I'm all about trying. There's so little to to look forward to in lockdown. It's the little things that make you happy.
it's a big deal. Like when they announce, "Hey, we're doing free shipping," like Crimson is doing this weekend. Is the Toronto, and on the 11th is Toronto and Durham free delivery, no minimum order. So I'm like, oh yay! Oh, so I guess I have another delivery coming on Sunday that I forgot about. And then it was like, yay, free delivery. Okay, let's see what we can do for this one. But yeah, that's one of the most entertaining things, right? Is like, okay, what's the cidery? What are they doing now? What flavors do they have that are different? And experimenting and hearing about what everyone else is trying and doing, and just connecting, I guess, like just connecting virtually, right? Because like Jana said, like last week in our Cider chat, it's nice to talk to people without a mask on. It's nice to see people's faces.
It's the interactions we miss most. I think we're all very used to our little bubbles now, which is great to have a bubble, but I very much look forward to the days when I can do a PEC round trip, like friendcation, where I go on a road trip with a bunch of friends, or if I can head out, to the Collingwood area and do those cideries. But I look forward to going places in person, hanging out with people in person again, and just being able to share a good cider with people again.
Yeah, I know it's been so long. Like it's been so long.
Over a year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, my I don't know how your dog is doing, but my puppy has like zero socialization skills because really he was born during lockdown, right? So he sees people outside and he gets scared. But
Oh, poor
yeah,
Poe.
yeah, we'll get him there. I signed him up for Doodle Day, Dog Days of Summer, and out in the park. So we'll see how it goes. But well, this was so much fun. I had
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to drink with you. I've had a blast.
anytime. Are you kidding? Anytime at all. This was great, and you opened you made me spread my wings more, to the Brickworks and the KW Thai Ginger, and so I'm like, I appreciate that because I have a different kind of respect. I love trying things that I thought I wasn't gonna like the Duntroon rhubarb. I thought, okay, I'm not gonna like this, but I love the Duntroon rhubarb. So that's great.
And
Yeah,
Duntrude is run by some really great people as well.
yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, thank you
Well,
so much.
cheers. Thank you so
Cheers.
much.
Have a great rest of your evening.
You too.
Finishing a
And
cider.
thank you everyone who followed along and watched. It was great seeing your comments.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.